All right, so welcome to another video. Today I want to share with you some thoughts and tidbits as far as how often should you post and the frequency rate. We're going to take a look at creating new blog content, so stay tuned. All right, so if you're trying to figure out how often should you be posting to your blog, I'm going to give you a little thought and take. There's kind of a balanced approach to it. Now, if you're brand new to building a blog and maybe you haven't started a blog yet, definitely check out my sponsor here, Pork Bun. They are great for starting a domain name or starting a blog. So if you're interested in getting a domain name at a reasonable price, you can just take a look, do a search, see if your domain name's available, and then go ahead and purchase one. They also offer web hosting, email hosting, and much more. Okay, so let's kick things off and let me give you some ideas when it comes to your posting rate and looking at how often should you post. I think in general, a good rule of thumb is to look at posting at least once a week, but there is this balancing effect that can happen. If you post too much or too often, you could get burnt out. So that's a little bit of a problem. If you don't post enough though, you're not going to get as much traffic or the audience. So with the seesaw concept, what you want to do is kind of balance it out. Look, post as much as you can to get some traffic, to get the audience, to get the search engines kind of scanning your website. But if you don't post enough, you're not going to get that. If you post too much, you might have a burnout. You might burn out from just doing too much work and too much content. So you'll need to give your body rest, your personal life, again, catching up from Christmas holidays to taxes to whatever else you need to do in your day-to-day life. So definitely, balance it out. So there's a little approach I want to share with you here that you could take. So if we go ahead and pull up a calendar here, if you're just getting started, and you're just trying to find your flow, you're trying to build your website, you could just go posting once a month. So here's kind of a calendar. You could say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and post just on this month right there. Okay, so that's one way to take a look at it. And then that way you can be consistent, because consistency is important. That way your audience knows when you're going to post. The robots, search engines, they also come back to your website, rescanning for new content and other things that are just beneficial for you to stay on track and schedule. So here we go. We've got one posting a month, and that'll get you, 12 posts throughout the year. Now, is that enough? May not be. If you're competing against other people, that may be difficult. So this is where you can start stepping things up. Okay, so if you go in and you post once a month, now instead of once a month, you could go kind of twice a month. That'll get you about 24 posts per year of content. So now you're going every other week, and you're starting to pick up some speed. As you continue to get better and better, you could go to kind of a weekly blog. Now, this will get you that 52 weeks a year amount of posts, but sometimes there's holidays. So let's just go in with about 50 posts per year is kind of what you're looking at if you're posting once a week. Now, this is a good starting point. And I think this is probably what you want to shoot for. If you can post once a week, you've got a decent amount of content that can, accelerate and pick up your blog and get it ranking and doing fairly well. On the other hand, it's not too overwhelming as well. So you could kind of do a lot of the posts at the beginning of the month, and then you can get most of those posts kind of done. Now, the other approach is if you want to start picking up some speed, let's say we're doing once a week. Now, what you could do is add in or tackle on the first week of the month, add in another posting. So this is kind of like your bonus post. So you can go in and say, okay, I'm going to go in and do this extra little post right there. Here, I'll make it red for you. So I've got this extra little bonus post that I start adding in. And what you can do is if you're trying to pick up more speed, you could go to twice a week. So now this gives you more and more content, but without committing to twice a week. You're kind of doing once a week, a full commitment here. And then after that, you'd be going every other week, maybe on a Tuesday. And you can, of course, pick that up. So you could do it twice a week. So now you've got 2 times a week. And you've got, let's say 50 posts or 50 weeks out of the year times 2. So you've got about 100 content pieces that you're going to pump out every single year. So this sounds like a nice way to kind of approach it. So if we can go all this week, all that week, and you start picking up some speed and accelerating, then again, you could start adding in a couple of sprinkled pieces here and there without overcommitting. The important part is to make sure you keep a consistent schedule, at least for the things that you're doing time and time again. For the other things out here that you're sprinkling in, you could just test and see how is that coming into play with your personal schedule, with your lifestyle, with just your content, your channel, your blog overall. And that allows you to see, hey, what is it that you're doing well? What is it that makes sense to continue doing it? And could you keep up with it? Because what you don't want to do is run into a burnout problem. Because if you post too much, you'll probably burn out. If you don't post enough, you're not going to get the traffic, the audience, and all the other benefits that come with it. So hope that helps, gives you some insight to just overall what to do as far as posting goes, the posting rate, and how to really handle it and tackle it. If you're interested in seeing more from this channel or more about building a business, then feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel or check out some of the freebies that I have on the website. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.